Welcome to DSP News 2nd Edition. I am your host, GTG, and let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Back with the, if there were any awards for this, award-winning, critically acclaimed, that Patreon pocket check. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a bit of a historical look back at the life and times of DSP Year 1. 2015 of the history of Patreon. We are at current, I'm like 3 episodes in, so hopefully the first 2 are out at the time that you guys are hearing this. Hopefully, unless I completely screwed everything up, because I am known to do that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with episode 3. And yet again, we are here with almighty streams and archives. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what is going to be this today's episode? DSP is in need. Donate to the Salt Free Foundation so he can play games and make montages. This is from June 19th of 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, some of you guys may have a hard time believing this, but at one time, Phil, who used to pay for Premiere, I believe, used to actually edit videos poorly, extremely poorly. But he used to edit videos sometimes for montages. Obviously, he was trying, he was trying in some vague, still half-assed type of way to try to get in on the collective. As you guys know, Phil is a unique fucking snowflake. And he is one of the last bastion of those content creators who still record and upload raw content, raw and uncut. Okay? Well, montages started to become a big thing, and people were demanding it. Not asking for it now, not merely asking for it, I should say, demanding that he do montages. Now, I'd like to give you guys, and so he tried, and eventually he gave up on it because it wasn't giving him the views he wanted, and really he just didn't know how to focus the attention of the audience to do a montage. Especially since he was doing montages of like old playthroughs that were, I don't know, it just didn't make too much sense for some of it. But let me give you guys a much better example. An individual by the name of xChaseMoney. I've been watching xChaseMoney for a while. And great content creator. He's a Let's Player, plays new games and old games. He's known a lot for playing NBA 2K, Madden. He's known for playing just a lot of games. He's not really known for playing any one type of game. He's known for playing a bunch of games. Sports, RPGs, first-person shooters, whatever. And he's very good. And he's extremely entertaining. His rages are hilarious. Hilarious. So, but Chase always is also a montage head, right? And the way he has both of his channels are structured, it makes sense how he does it. We'll get to that at a later time and date, but it's super fucking smart. And Phil could have done this from the beginning, but he's an idiot, you see. What Chase does at the beginning of each and every playthrough, and he'll bring it up for the first 10 or 15 episodes. His playthroughs usually aren't very long. He usually gets a game knocked out in like 20, 30 episodes. Or videos, whatever. What he does for the first like 5 or 10 videos or episodes of a playthrough, hey guys, leave your funny moments time-stamped in the comment section and whatnot, and maybe it'll make it into the montage. And you're talking about an individual who gets hundreds of comments. We're talking about a shitload of timestamps he has to go through, but he has a couple of ways of also doing it. Not only does he pick stuff that are just outright hilarious, but those comments that are, or those timestamps, I should say, that are outright hilarious, more often than not, they have a bunch of upvotes on them. So that makes it even easier. And you're talking about he does that for each and every video of his playthrough. And that's how he builds his montages up. He knows where to clip, because they'll tell him, hey, the clip starts here. Some people say it starts here, it ends here. Or it says it just starts here, and then there you go. All you have to do is go back. And his montages come out I think he does it like once every 2 months. And over the years, he got even smarter with it. Instead of doing a montage for a single game, he'll do montages for the set of games that he's playing. So let me give you an example. xChaseMoney, Chase, usually plays, shit, at times I think he plays between 3 and 5 games at the same time. So he's literally rotating between these games, right? When he does the montage, he'll just go ahead and take all 5 or 4 or 5 of those games, whatever he's playing, and put it into that single montage. It's amazing, and it's hilarious, and it's well done, and I promise you, you are not wasting your time watching XChaseMoney, okay? So that is someone who has learned how to do it right, and he learned how to do it right over time. And he was willing to put the time in, he was willing to put the creativity in. We're talking about an individual at one time. I don't think it's not like that now, because now he should be good with money. But back in the day, he used to work 2 jobs. My man, I'm just gonna be big up in XChaseMoney right here. My boy XChaseMoney used to work 2 jobs. So he used to wake up, go to his first job, come home, record, 2 or 3 videos, then go back to work, then come home, record a little bit more, then edit all that, then go to bed, and then boom, everything ended up would go ahead and publish into the playlist, and then would publish throughout that day, and then he'd be at it all over again. He did that 5 days in a row, or he did that 5 days straight, whatever. And he grinded like that for years, at least the years that I was watching him. I still watch him, but for the years I've watched him, he's been grinding at that shit, and it paid off. You know what I'm saying? Chase is probably one of the most respected guys in Let's Plays he's under 500,000 subs on both of his channels, respectfully, but he is over 100,000 on each one of those channels. So, and Chase is always grinding. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to kind of get into live streaming now, but he's somebody who did it right. He's the example of an actual YouTube Let's Player, and a very good one. And that's what Phil could have been, that maybe, or he certainly could have strived for it, but he didn't. I'm gonna leave the link to Chase's channels down below, or I will leave you a link to his montage, to one of them, and you can see what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna go and look for Phil's montages; they're garbage. But you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you can find that. Look up one of Phil's montages, you can find them. I'm definitely gonna try to link one of Chase's montages down in the description below. Please check that out. It's night and day and whatnot. And you can tell that Chase actually really loves games. He enjoys playing them. He enjoys playing them with other people. He enjoys just having a good time. And his rages are hilarious. They are fucking hilarious. Just good shit. Anyway, enough of that, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? I ain't bigged up Chase. You know what I'm saying? Enough. Big ups, though, to the usual suspects. Agent Proper, James the Lesser, Paul W., Sunspot Gallery, SuperSlothPants, Jackal's Lair, CyberTheWolf, LocoSlam. Who else are we missing? There's somebody else off the top of my head. Chio18, Aladdin. Big ups to all of you. Just big ups to everybody. Hope all y'all doing well. You know what I'm saying? Big ups to Snorpernell, Almighty Tevin, LSB, Mr. Huffstuff. Big ups to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Feeling good right now. So let's go ahead and get into this pocket check. Let's go ahead and get into this Patreon nonsense, year 1 of the snort. I'll see you guys in just a second. Oh, man.
In a world where all the YouTube money is dried up.
Now, one thing I do want to say, and I already explained this on the forums, I'm going to say it again. This is not a conversation of should Phil do Patreon. I'm doing Patreon. There's no way around not doing Patreon.
In a world when fan interaction is as much as saying,
all these idiots in stream chat. Phil's reading stream chat. I haven't even looked at stream chat in like 100 years. The hell are you talking about? I haven't been paying attention to all. Oh, this is a good one. Why is it that when everyone asks a legitimate question that isn't some ego question for Phil, the person gets banned and the question gets called stupid? Because that doesn't happen, just that you're stupid, and you probably ask dumb fucking questions that really no one wants the answers to, besides drama queen teenage idiots who like to just enforce negativity into everything related to me instead of actually caring. So, fuck off. There you go. There's your answer. Oh, and by the way, have a good night outside of my chat. This fucker's played 1,000 fucking matches. Are you kidding me? What a fucking loser. Seriously.
In a world where you live with your full-time girlfriend in your adult house.
Hey DSP, can I go with your daughter, Pandaline, a couple years?
This guy is just, he's so intelligent. I mean, his humor is so spot on that how could anyone not just break out into hilarious laughter at these well thought out, poignant remarks from this gentleman? He's just so fucking intelligent and funny. Hilarious! Hilarious, the antics tonight. I mean, it's not like he's a complete fucking loser and he's proven to the entire internet that he's a fucking idiot and has a terrible sense of humor and probably is 14 fucking years old. Balls haven't dropped yet, because that's what it sounds like on the fucking mic anyway. No, he's cool. I don't just fucking make fun of others.
In a world where mentally ill trolls stalk you day and night.
Your girlfriend's an idiot.
Look at this guy. Now he's gonna insult my girlfriend, but he says yeah, what a fucking loser.
You're fucking awful.
What a fucking loser.
Now look at my skeleton,
Wow. I actually have to upload this video.
Stop playing video games,
I have to upload this video to show the level of intelligence of the common person playing this fucking game. What a fucking idiot.
Online only. Online sweep. These butt slams would never work if it was offline, guys. I'm a true tournament player. I really know a lot about Street Fighter. And these butt slams would just never... I was blocking that! You fucking suck. You're an embarrassment to the FGC, kid. You're horrible. Darkside Phil, kill yourself. Nobody likes you. Nobody cares about you. You're the worst.
For all the people who out there who always say that, oh, he's horrible at games, I think this is kind of a shot to the, or punch in the face for those idiots, because, you know, the bottom line is, again, I can be good at games if I want to. If I actually want to take a minute to try to be serious with it, I can do it. The thing is, when I'm doing my playthroughs, I don't want to do that. And that's why I play, oh no, he sucks at Metal Gear, because I wasn't trying hard to do good at the game. That's not what I do. I'm not a top-level pro player at every game that I play. I'm trying to have fun. That's the key here.
In a world where Kojima lives in your closet. In a world where the plug is always about Patreon. And sometimes soap. What's up? Tevin C here.
Oh, what's up? That shit is great. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Almighty Streams and Archives. DSP is in need. Donate to the Salt-Free Foundation so he can play games and make montages. It's from June 19th of 2015. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Praise be Almighty. We should all be grateful. And I mean that too. I'm being really sincere. Like, we should all be grateful. Okay? To the doubt, to the gout, and to the stout. To the snout. Praise be. Amen. Here we go.
And yet again, it's that wonderful time of the month when our favorite Let's Player, our favorite patron, or Patreon, whatever you call it, updates his Patreon account. And last month to this day, he updated it, so at least he's on schedule. And you see here, last month he had 158 patrons, $1,381.07 a month. Pretty wonderful, right? And this is when he first started doing the Yakuza 4 foolishness, which is pretty much him saying, I want to play this game, continue to give me money to play this game I want to play. So let's see what progress Darkside Phil has made in the last month. See here, 160 patrons, $1,250 a month. So that's not good, right? But yeah, this is my second time recording this because the first time was really fucked up, and I feel like it was something else I wanted to say. I'm doing this for my nice camera, my nice new camera, just to be a dick, even though it's way more trouble. But let's start off at the top and see if he changed anything. Spoiler alert, he kinda didn't, but we have DSP's Best of the Classics, whichever game is chosen by patrons in June. This is pretty much his montages. And didn't he want I think he wanted $1,000 for montages originally, like the month before last. I don't know. Look that up if you can. It's kinda hard to know the original goals and shit, because it's not like it's not a way to look up the old goals. Anyway, let's continue. My first.
Okay, so the montages are called Best of the Classics, and he used that as basically stretch goals on Patreon. So, okay, so he was asking for $1,250, and then to give you an example, I should say, let's say the Patreon goal, initial Patreon goal was $1,000 or $1,250. Let's say that. For if you could bring it up, if they reach that, they reach it. If they could reach the next tier, which would be $1,500, he would do, I guess, like a Best of the Classics. And then if they were able to reach $1,700, he would do something else. And then if they were able to reach $2,000, he would do something else. Like, who would have time for all this mental fuckery? Like, who would really have time to do all this nonsense and try to update it each and every month? But yet again, that's just an example. You'll hear more of the shenanigans as this goes on.
Series of DSP Classics montages. Heavy Rank concluded in early June. The series was great, but viewership trailed off due to lack of ongoing interest, and common feedback was that it went on far too long. But I thought the point of doing Patreon was so you wouldn't have to mention views all the time. Even worse, so you mentioning views on something you got paid to do.
Yo, but Turvin, we're here to get this double money, baby. We all about this double money. I want that Patreon money. I want them to hit the stretch goals every month. I want all that. And then I want my donations behind the scenes. And then I want my Teespring. And then I want them to go ahead and buy stuff from Loot Crate or whatever else that I'm shilling. You know, even though Phil's not supposed to be a shill. But yet he used to promote stuff that people shill. Huh. And I want my YouTube money. I want all of my Susan money. Now, I don't think Susan was in the picture at the time, but in the current year of gout, 2019, I want all of my Susan money. You can't expect Phil to just be happy with the bare minimum and then work harder to get more. He needs to take everything, baby. That's how this works. Okay? He's like a drug dealer who don't sling drugs. He's like a drug dealer who don't sling drugs. But he still want all the money. He want the block, but he ain't pushing nothing on the block, and he want all the money. Oh my God. That's amazing. Just as an example, of course, Phil is... I mean, if you think... You know what? Actually, Phil is a drug dealer if you think about it. The negativity is the drug that he peddles to the pay piggies, to the supporters, to the fans, to the cult. He literally is, if you think about it, he literally is peddling a form of a narcotic. You know what I'm saying? Look at how some of his fans spurg out at times. I mean, you know, there's a reason why wheelchair symbols are being peddled around all the time. If you think about it, that's just a way of perceiving the situation. All right, here we go.
Even worse, so your montages get better views than everything else you upload at this point. But whatever, dude. Anyway,
that's only because the fans are invested in it. That's it. Well, to some degree, anyway. So that's kind of the only reason why that is. But yet again, if he used the timestamp method instead of having people tell him, like come to his forums or tell him on Twitter or however way they were communicating to him, to tell him what to vote for their favorite parts, it would be way more streamlined. And matter of fact, he wouldn't even need to get the clips on his own. He could have either Panda do it, because Panda wasn't in the picture at the time, or he could just have one of these fans that he has in the DSP sweatshop and Snortopia to go ahead and do it. He could have them get the clips, and he could have even... Ooh, boy, I'm about to get grimy. bear with me on this. Walk with me, ladies and gentlemen. Walk with me. He could have literally, if he would have set up the timestamp method, right? He could have literally had a couple of people. He could have Panda and a few other people go through all of those comment sections to get all of the timestamps. Okay? Then they take all the clips out, they edit it together, and then they send it to Phil. And then all Phil has to do is slap his little logo on it or his little intro or whatever the shit is, and then boom, done. And here's where I get the idea from. Remember when he did the KO Gaming community, the KO Gaming community creation program or whatever it was? It was basically when he tried to cut into the this is how you don't play market by having his fans actually make this is how you don't play. So we're gonna go over that in the future, or whatever time is permitted to me, I should say. But he could have done something similar to that and banked all day off of it. But see, Phil wants to have control over everything, and even when the work is done for him, he still won't put his best foot forward and make things happen, which is crazy. But just an example.
In fact, I canceled my plans to do a bonus video of the DLC because of it. If this goal is met, the series will continue throughout July, and patrons are currently voting on which game it will be. Current leaders: Indigo Prophecy, another short game, damn near the same as Heavy Rain; Fallout 3, an extremely long game; TV Superstars, I don't even know what that is; and Red Dead Redemption, another extremely long game. Remember, he wanted to continue to do the montages, but he said he wanted it to be a shorter game, so it would take less. Now let's think about this. Heavy Rain, a game you can beat in about 10 hours. It took him 8 montages to do it. 8 20 to 30 minute montages, I think. And Indigo Prophecy more than likely would be the same. If he did a freaking Fallout 3 or Red Dead Redemption montage series, this shit would take half a year for him to finish. Because every 10 episodes would probably be another 30-minute montage, and that shit was hundreds of episodes long. So, okay, let's see how that works out. Because I'm pretty sure Fallout 3 or Red Dead Redemption is going to win. I highly doubt Indigo Prophecy or TV Superstars will win, but if they did win, it would be easy for him, which is what he wants. Now is the time to play so we can get this series on.
But yet again, as you said, he's not. Who's going to want to, see TV Superstars or that other game win when most people don't even know what that is? He's going to draw people in with Fallout or with the or Red Dead. Those are going to bring the viewers in. You know what I'm saying? And that, which is obviously going to make the montages a lot harder for him, but those will bring in the viewers because those are recognized titles. And that, and remember, he's conditioned, meaning Phil, he's conditioned his fan base to overlook most indie games and only come and watch him play the mainstream games at this time. You know what I'm saying? Which is weird because he says that nonsense, but then he tries to throw, indie titles at them. I never really understood that, but Phil is a walking contradiction.
Track with more variety and less games dragging on. Yeah, whatever. Then we have $1,000 a month. This was Yakuza last month. DSP plays it. Patron's choice returns. Per viewer and patron demand, it's back. If the goal is met, patrons will again nominate and vote on their personal choice for a playthrough. I will begin in late July/early August. Parentheses. Dependent on status of projects such as Yakuza 4, which is already underway, etc.
No, wait. He said the playthrough, if they reach the $1,000 goal, will be in late July, early August. Does that not sound familiar to some of you in current time, in our current year of gout? It should. So if they hit the goal, they don't get the playthrough until 2 months later, almost, or damn near 2 months later, which is the equivalent of when he does sub goals to play certain games now. They don't see that shit for like 2 months. And then all of a sudden there's some topsy-turvy shit like, oh, well, I think we're going to wait and I'm going to wait for a remaster to come out or something. Don't worry, we hit the goal, so I'm going to play it, but I'm just going to hold off for now. Doesn't he owe a couple of games, or at least one game, or does he owe 2 games right now? He owes at least one game that I know for sure that was a sub goal a few months ago, And his reasoning is, oh, there's going to be an HD remaster coming out for it soon. I don't know if it's the new SpongeBob game, which is the reason why he's sitting with Kat watching SpongeBob for research. What? I don't know. What, I can't remember now. But I do know there's at least one game that he owes. And he's putting it off because he's waiting for an HD remix. Or, not a remix, but an HD remastered. Think about that.
What the fuck is that? Give me $1,000. I'm gonna do whatever you want me to do, depending on something I'm already doing that you didn't ask me to do. What? So he will do this late July, early August. All right. So it's June 19th. For some reason, he updates his shit in the middle of the month. He needs to start updating in the beginning of the month. Hopefully, I remember to explain why later. Well, another reason why later, but okay, he gets his money in the beginning of July, and he might start this in the end of July or in August, depending on how far along he is in Yakuza 4. Whatever. Patient's Choice Marathon continues. Same game or a new one based on patron voting. In late June, I will have played, because this didn't happen yet. In late June, I will have played a 7+ hour mini marathon of the following game series: Classic Sonic, Sonic 1 through 3, Crash 1 through 3. No, it don't even say 1 through 3, but it will be.
That's where the Crash thing is, where the controversy is going to come about. Phil has always been a stickler for Sonic games, so that didn't even matter. So he came through on that. The Crash Bandicoot thing is where the bullshit comes into play. But we're not there yet. That's at least another video or two off. But just keep that in mind. Keeping in mind that Crash Bandicoot was a complete and total clusterfuck.
1 through 3. Or Banjo-Kazooie HD re-release on the 360. Now, since I'm making this go, this is an ongoing thing with his Patreon. You see how wordy everything is? He doesn't need all of these words. People don't want to read all of that. Anyway, now since I'm making this goal ahead of time, I cannot say which one will win, but if this goal is met, patrons will again vote on if they, 1, want to see the same game series continued in the marathon in late July, or 2, they want to see another of the 3 selections played. So yeah, it's still shit, because he's either going to play Sonic, Crash, or Banjo-Kazooie this month, and next month he's going to play either Sonic, Crash, or Banjo-Kazooie. It's pretty much what he wants to play. He's not going to end up being stuck with some shitty indie game or something he won't like he did with the indie marathon. And then I love this part. Please note, I will probably try other kinds of mini marathons and return to indie games in the future as well. I will probably try other kinds of marathons and return to indies. Why is that even there?
I don't know if you guys can actually see this. If you can't, don't worry about it. But right here, where it says Crash Bandicoot, it says right here that he's going to do, let's see, Part 1 PSX. Where was it? Okay, never mind. It wasn't Crash Bandicoot, sorry. It was Banjo-Kazooie HD re-release on the Xbox 360. Now, like I said, you can't see it because I paused it at the wrong time. But that Sonic his classic Sonic Marathon is also an HD re-release as well. So, as you know, Phil's a stickler for those HD remixes too.
Me to say
Re-releases, I mean. Sorry about that.
Okay. Well, I wanted to donate to dogs,
and because of that, he can. Is it right here? Hold on. Classic Sonic on the Genesis. Wait a second. He played Classic Sonic parts 1 through 3 on Genesis? Well, say it ain't so. Interesting. Crash Bandicoot was on, looks like the PlayStation 1. No, that's not true. He had the no. He had to have played that on PS3, I think. PS3 or Xbox, because I think I distinctly remember that. And then, or I'd remember someone going over it. I wasn't around watching any of that at the time. And then Crash Bandicoot was an HD re-release. HD re-release. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, he was basically playing re-releases. Here's the thing. Well, here's the reason why I'm kind of OCDing over this to some extent. My thing is that he complains now that he can't play certain games on classic consoles because he can't capture. But his capturing back in 2015 isn't much different than what his capturing methods are now in 2019. And it's, I wouldn't say it's easier, but it's easy. It's relatively easy to capture off of old consoles. So what is his excuse now? Why is it that everything has to be an HD re-release when he can play on classic consoles? Or at least some of them. Why does he have to wait for emulators to come out and whatnot, like, you know, like the Sega Genesis Mini, to actually play games when he can emulate it on his PC? Stuff like that. These are just some of the things that we should think about moving forward. But sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure I was catching what was there.
I feel, but I really want the indie marathons to come back. So I'm gonna donate now, based on the hopes that he might go back and do something. I'm just gonna wait until he does what I want him to do to donate. That's what the normal person would think, unless they just want to give him money every month for nothing. It's multiple reasons why he's getting less money this month. Multiple reasons. And stretch goal, this is fun. Stretch goal explanation. This new 1080p professional camera. You see, it used to be $2,000. Now it's $1,965. And we have, unfortunately, I was not able to raise many additional funds in the months of April and May.
We went from $2,000 to $1,965. So he dropped it by $35. Yeah, my math is right. We dropped it by $35. Why did he do that? He should just kept it at $2,000.
For a better camera, only $5 and $30 respectfully. Alright, the way DSP works with his camera situation is money can be invisible, money cannot exist, all kind of crazy shit. But he, for instance, $1,250 is his top goal. If he gets $1,255, $5 will go towards the camera, even though he makes it seem like these things he's doing cost money. And the thing is, it's supposed to be, well, me doing montages and doing the mini marathons, it takes away from my daily gameplay videos, and that takes away views. So he's pretty much kind of trying to say time is money, even though his montages get better views than everything else he does. And Patron's Choice is only one day out of the month, and DSP plays it. I mean, to be honest, yeah, the DSP plays his stuff like his well, Persona 4 got okay views compared to everything else, but Yakuza 4 is in the shithole right now as far as views is concerned. But let's go on the
Shit, look at that. That's Tevin looking at Tevin while I'm looking at him. That's kind of crazy. So he had a Patron's Choice every month. So I want you to think about this for a minute. So Phil was getting a guaranteed $1,000 on one game a month that he was playing, and then dragging that shit out for months on end. So, and dragging it out, ladies and gentlemen, so he can catch all that YouTube money, despite the fact that more often than not, it was one of those games was a Patron's Choice, and he already got his $1,000 for it. And then I don't know, and then the whole bullshit about, oh, if they go over the $1,250, he applies that to one of the stretch goals. Well, okay, why even do that? Like, why not just go ahead and see if you can actually hit those goals, right? And anything that you didn't make over on each one of those brackets, for example, if you even able to achieve them, why wouldn't you just apply that to the following month? Why sit there and try to do that? It's almost like a false sense of encouragement. Like, oh, you guys made it to the first tier and to the second tier, but you guys went a little bit over, right? So we still need another, let's say, $250 for that last tier. You guys paid over by 50. If you guys pay me that other $200, we can make the goal. Maybe that's what he was trying to do. Okay, I see. I kind of see that now. Maybe that's what he was trying to go for. That's still kind of snake in the grass-ish. Kinda.
Trip to DSP Gaming YouTube channel. And let's see, of course his E3 stuff got a ton of fucking views because of duh. But let's just look at the average number of views. And of course The Witcher 3, he's up at 141 right now. So
whoa, okay, here, let me excuse me. Let me talk about some of this. So we have the pre-stream from June 18th of 2015, which is probably RIP at this point, because you guys know a lot of those pre-streams from 2013 to like 2015 are just gone. But look at these views. Okay, at least in here, 17 hours ago, 16 hours ago, 16 hours ago, 372 views, 256 views, 446 views, 365 views, and some of these videos, ladies and gentlemen, have been up for 16 or 17 hours. Damn. And at the time, he had 177,000 subs. Damn. That's not... That's... Ugh. But he used to be white hot popular, though. I thought the trolls and the haters, though, were the ones who was fucking him over, though. But I'm looking at these views right here, and I don't know, but that don't look like that to me. That damn sure don't look like that to me. It looks like he was screwing his own views over. And ladies and gentlemen, we have videos here from the 15-minute mark up to 28 minutes, and he still ain't catching no real views. Damn. And then we got Witcher 3, part 137. And look at how I ordered. Well, you guys may not be able to see this. You guys might be doing other things here. So let me read this out to you. So, Witcher 3, PlayStation 4 playthrough, part 137. Oh shit! 412 views. The next video, Witcher 3, part 139. We missed a step here. Only 431 views. The next video is part 140, 141. Where's episode 138? Oh, I'm sorry. Episode 138 actually came out before episode 137. Oh, I see. Got you. And then the episode before that was Witcher 3 part 135. What a fucking idiot. God damn it. All this shit is out of order. What a dumbass. Why? How can you be this disorganized? Oh, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good.
Of course, I won't be getting 5,000-6,000 views a video, but still, him doing a montage, for instance, is going to take away from him playing a Witcher 3 for a day. But what is he really losing out on? A couple of thousand views? But you see here, 300 views, 400 views. This is a stream, so that doesn't count. Yakuza, 700 views, 900 views, 700 views, 900 views. E3 stuff, 10,000 views. Witcher, 700, 700, 700. E3, 20,000, of course. 1,500. That's a Lego Jurassic World, so that's something he just started. Of course, the early on videos in the series get a lot of views compared to the later stuff.
Yeah, but let's keep it 100 too, though. Some of those videos are like 6 days, 7 days old almost. You know what I'm saying? So some of these, like his Lego videos, like the Lego Jurassic Park, it's been up for 6 days, and now it has 1,600. But Phil talks like he was pulling 1,600 in the first hour or two when he used to put playthroughs up back in 2015, and even before 2015, which that's a lie. So we got problems here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know where he get white hot popular from. You know what I'm saying? Some of his streams, okay. Some of these Lego playthroughs, maybe, because actually, Lego playthrough co-op. Okay, co-op part 2 has 5,600. I mean, Who did he co-op with? It was either with Panda or John. I think it was Panda though. I think she was really into. I think he had her into those Lego videos because daddy-daughter time, I guess.
1,000, 1,300, 800. Yeah, these views are pretty fucking low, right? But remember, him doing these montages, they take away from him doing other stuff that gets views. It's like he tries to fool us into thinking the montages get such shit views that he should be getting paid to do it. This is part 8 of the Heavy Rain montage, 4,400 views, and you compare it to the other stuff around it, yeah, it has way more by a long shot. And you could look at even Splatoon, it barely got any kind of decent views, and that game was, the hot shit when it first came out. The brand new games always get decent views.
Oh, you mean back in the day when Phil used to go ahead and slurp up the day one hype? What a hoe! What a hoe! Oh, damn you, Phil. Oh my god.
Hope I didn't click on the video. Okay, I didn't. Good. Let's continue. And this is another stream, so that doesn't count. 4,000 views. 17,000 views for the best and worst of May. 17,000 views. Does anything else around this video have close to that? No. Part 7 of best and worst of Heavy Rain, almost 7,000 views. So yeah, if anything, he should be paying people he should be paying the people that gave him the idea of doing the montages, because they get more views than anything else he's doing. But yeah, he needs $750 to do montages, because why not?
Now check this out. Now some of you guys may have seen it. If not, you at least heard what I was saying. So as Tevin had pointed out, his montages are the ones that kind of drive in the views, and then a couple of videos after that montage, maybe 2 or 3 videos, will benefit, decently, and then it starts to taper off again. Phil should go back to making montages now, if you think about it. As shitty as they were, he should go back to doing some of that now, or have somebody else make it for him. He's got a bunch of people over there that would fucking ooze over the fact of making montages for him. They should do that, and then have him throw that in there, and have a couple of those guys make montages for him a few times a month off of whatever he is that he's playing, at least as far as he is in the playthrough at that particular point. That's just my personal opinion.
Because why not? Anyway, I went completely off track, didn't I? But what was I trying to say? Oh yeah, if he gets anything over this $1,250 mark, that goes towards the camera. But you also have to take into consideration that he might go on Twitter at any point in time and say, well, I had $150 over the limit for the camera, but credit card fees and Patreon fees made it to when I only had $5.
Now that's funny, because doesn't Phil say that shit now when you tip him? Oh, if you guys tip me only $1, I only get like 60-something cent. You know what I mean? Or if you guys send money to me through PayPal, PayPal takes a small piece out of that, so I don't even get all the money that you guys are sending. So you might want to consider either sending me larger donations or just sending me more money altogether. He was doing that shit with Patreon. You see, he's regurgitating a lot of this. Some of the wording is different. So it's phrased slightly differently, if you will, but it's still the same bullshit. It's the same pig shit, actually. It's the same disgusting, slimy, nasty pig shit that he continues to wallop in. Because what the hell else would he do?
So you really got to go by his word with a lot of stuff, because pretty much every month now he says that the money you see him getting, he not getting. So if this said $1,400, he would say, well, I'm not getting $1,400 because people get declined in Patreon fees and credit card processing fees. So you can't even really trust this number, and you can't even.
Actually, that right there is going to be pivotal when we start getting into the 2017 era, where Patreon, he's like, you can't trust the number that you guys see on my Patreon on the main page. It's all fucked up. Okay, it's not the real number. I can tell you what the real number is. You guys may see $1,500 up there, but I promise you, it's only $1,100. So give me more money. When we get into the 2017 era, you start to see more of that shit happen. That shit's hilarious.
Plus this number, but the other point I was trying to make is he's making it seem like it cost him $750 to do montage. Doesn't. If anything, he's making a few dollars on these montages, and DSP plays it barely cost him any money. If that, some of the games might not cost him anything. Patron's Choice Marathon won't cost him any money based on what he plays. If he plays Sonic, that's going to cost him $0 because he's just going to play it on an emulator. So where is the money going? You know what I mean? In a way, I guess the way DSP handles it is that, everything under $1,250, he sees it as his money, and it's his money. He does whatever the fuck he wants to do with it. If he gets over that, then he sees that as, oh well, I'm gonna use this to upgrade my shit, whatever. And I mean, obviously I got a problem with it, how he treated it. He could easily just use this $750 right here to buy a new camera. And I think if he did that, a lot more people would have faith in him when it comes to Patreon, and a lot more people would trust him, instead of him getting all of this free money for doing stuff that gets decent views anyway. And then ask...
But dude, like you said, the $1,250 is his money. So if you guys want me to get a new camera so you can see it in better quality, you better go ahead and kick up another $750. Why should DSP... Darkside Phil Burnell, Mr. 4th place finish, #1 ranked American Super Turbo player in 2005. Why the fuck would he need to go ahead and dip into his $1,250 to go ahead and get a camera when he can make these motherfuckers go ahead and put the money up for it? Let them hit the stretch goal each and every month for it. Which, let me go ahead and talk about that a little bit. So Tevin had already brought up, and you can see it on screen there if you guys are looking at it, that he has a stretch goal for a new 1080p professional camera, which is $1,965 per month. So think about it this way. Let's say they actually make it close to the stretch goal each and every month, but they never actually hit it. Whatever happens to all of that extra money that came close to the stretch goal that has been accumulated over, I don't know, X amount of months? What happens to that money? Oh, that gets pocketed because, you guys have been trying to hit the stretch goal each and every month, but you guys don't do it, so I'm just going to go ahead and pocket that part. I'll go ahead and fulfill all my obligations for the most part leading up to the camera stretch goal, but since you guys didn't meet it, I'm not getting a new camera. I'm going to go ahead and divert it over to something else. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, for any of you guys who have been around for any period of time, at least on this channel, that Phil has been accepting donations behind the scenes since like 2009. So you're telling me that he's still not accepting donations in 2015? And you're telling me that there wasn't some poor sap who was sending Phil, a couple $100 extra a month? Hey, Phil, I don't have a lot of money right now, but I'm going to send you this. And, maybe you can use this to use towards the camera. Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Really, thank you. But I need this money to pay some unexpected bills. Cinnamon is sick, and I need to really pay that money because I don't want I almost said Catherine. Because Panda would be upset, and we don't want Leanna to be upset about that. So I appreciate the donation. It's very generous, but fuck you. See you next month. And then there you go. And as grimy as that may sound, because it is grimy, obviously, that's probably what he did in some type of weird workaround. Keep that in mind.
For more money to buy a camera. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like, I don't even feel like coming up with an analogy right now. It's too early in the morning. But, yeah. Anyway, let's continue to read this. Only $5 and $30 respectively. The plan is to buy a full 1080p camera that has better capabilities than mine right now, such as 60 FPS or possibly 4K, with a much larger lens and better brightness adjustments.
What the hell did he need 4K in 2015? What the? Yet again, this goes back to last episode. Why do we need $1,000 camera when you don't know how to use it, and or you're not going to use it to its full capabilities? Why the hell do you want something that can do 4K when you still don't know how to work it and you wouldn't know how to format it? What the hell do you need 4K for anyway? Your content's still shit. What are we doing? Seriously, what the hell are we doing? Wanting a camera that can do 60 FPS or 4K? Fucking nonsense.
Etc. for use in new ongoing series like my game reviews, the Project 7 renewal, etc. It's not very likely that the camera will be obtained in time, as Project 7 will begin work in the second half of July, but any additional funds over my $1,250 goal.
Which is an interesting thing too. I think we've gone over that. No, maybe not. I think I've gone over the video where he says that Project 7 isn't happening. But to make a long story short, I'll give you guys the short version as best I can. He basically said, I can't do it. I can't. The stars have aligned, and I cannot work on Project 7 and do Street Fighter V's beta. So rip to Project 7, which means let me go ahead and give you the translation of pig-splaining. I never worked on it on any of those days that I told you guys I was going to, because I think at the time he was taking like Sunday nights off to work on to actually work on those things, Project 7. And come to find out, he probably didn't. He was probably just hanging out with Panda. Because I think around this time, Panda was saying that they weren't spending enough time with each other. So, and before they moved to Connecticut, she definitely said she wasn't getting enough of that. So, yeah, so that was the thing. So he never ever worked on Project 7. He never had any plan to. Just want to throw it out there.
Will still go towards this camera. Well, that's kind of shit, isn't it? Anyway, and also we have the perks. The perks are exactly the same, which is the reason why I think his overall funding goals, overall funding levels are getting lower and staying so fucking stagnant. But you see here we have the top tier levels. Top tier, low tier, low tier, low tier guy. But we see here we have the top tier levels. $30, you get a t-shirt. I'm not gonna read it. I read it in the last video. I'm gonna give a simple explanation. $30, you get a t-shirt. $50, you get a private video. $75, you get included into a future project like Project 7 or something else if Project 7 doesn't happen. Okay, he's been doing these same exact perks for what, 6 months? However long he's been doing Patreon. He needs to change these top perks. He only has 2 fucking shirts left, so this needs to change. And then another thing to take into consideration, only 2 people are pledging to each of these, which means obviously it has no interest. Of course, the easy way around it is to say, oh well, people don't have $30 and $50 and $75, but if they do, they are not interested, obviously. When you have 2 people pledging to something, just take a chance and change it. Just say, hey, if you want a shirt, pledge now to get your fucking shirt because I'm changing it. If you want a private video, pledge now to get your private video because I'm changing it. If you want to be in Project 7, pledge now because I'm changing it. This should be something else, and the shirt should be something else. The private videos, I guess, could stay. $20 gets you priority access to Ask the King, his stupid fucking Q&A session, when you pretty much email him a question and he may or may not answer it. And this gets you priority access, which means you will guaranteed get your question answered, which is a lie, because when he first started doing Ask the King, he said he won't answer some kind of questions. But that's the simple way of putting it. You guarantee get your question answered, which is kind of silly. You know, spend $20 to get 1 question answered. Yeah, that's kind of a lot, but whatever. And $10, you get these $1 and $5 perks. Of course, every perk gets you the previous perks, except for 50 and 75, I think. Yeah, because
you don't get a shirt from the $30 tier. I talked about that in the last 2 videos.
50 doesn't get the $30 perk. 75 doesn't get the 50 or the $30 perk. But 30 gets everything previous, and 20 gets everything previous, 10 and 5 and so on. But 10, you get
realistically, he should just get rid of the $75 perk. I've been thinking about this a little bit. He should get rid of the $75 perk level and just make it 100, and then you get everything. That's what he should do. Twitch thoughts do stuff like that too, but he should do that, or he should have done that.
thank you shout out during his vlog videos, and you get your name posted in the video, which is the same thing he used to shit on other people for doing, but that's besides the point. $5 gets you an exclusive forum title and section to post on in his website, thekingofbands.com, which is very exciting. You know, if you're not banned already from his website, you get
it's like Dodge City. It's like Doc City. That's really what that shit. What the King 8 forums are. They're Doc City. Docs City. You like shit. Like, stay the hell away from that shit. Seriously. You don't have to sign up to his forums to actually view what's over there, so you know, it's not worth it. It really isn't. And that people are screenshotting and archiving stuff on Kiwi Farms and on Twitter. So if you ever want to know what's going on over there, you always can.
Special forum title.
Defiant Sniff.
And this is one of the things. The $5 one, the $10 one, and I guess the $1 one. These are the ones that kind of annoy me because he updates his Patreon account pretty much the 19th of every month, almost clockwork at this point. Why? I don't know. He needs to just let it roll over and update it the first of the month.
Actually, I think I know why, but don't hold me to this. Two things. One, he eventually eliminates the $1 perk level. So, you know, because if you guys remember that one meme statement he made, this was in 2017, I believe. My favorite perk level is the $5 perk level, like $5 Subway subs. Yeah. Anyway, Dark Geppetto. Anyway, so he eventually eliminates the dollar perk level, but I think the reason why he didn't update the perks until the middle of the month is because he was waiting for pledges to clear. I know someone might remember that. If you don't know where about it, I could be wrong. But if I remember distinctly listening in a early Snorper No video, or some of those early Snorper No videos around this time period, that's the reason why. Because he was always saying that I'm waiting for your stuff to clear, and then I'll send all of your information to my webmaster so they can give you all your perks on the forums, and then I'll update and so on and so forth. I think that's the reason why he used to wait till between the 15th and the 19th of each month. Now, Tevin's right. He should roll it over, and in actuality, all of that stuff should have cleared by the first week of the month, of each month. Not the second, damn near third week, but it is what it is.
But if I pledge $10 to him right now, he's gonna get it the beginning of July. But I'm not gonna get my I'm not. Well, yeah, $10 you get a special forums title too. So yeah, I pledged $10 now. He's not gonna get it till the beginning of July, but he won't give me my custom forum title until the middle of July, because apparently it takes him like 2 weeks to do this. I've been watching how he treats the people after they first donate to him, and usually it'll be the second week of the month, and he'll go on Twitter, do his little videos, and say, "Oh well, the people that pledged last month got their new forum titles," and it's like, why is it taking you 2 weeks to give me a forum title? Think about it this way.
Also, you could also take it as, if you want to keep your forum title, if you think about it, what Tevin's trying to say is, why are you basically cutting these guys off by the knees by about 2 weeks? You could say that the reason why Phil's doing it is because he wants to make sure, or he's trying to give them incentive of donating the following month, and then so on and so forth, yada, yada, yada. I need to start calling him Dave again, because that's just fucking hilarious, and he hates that shit. But, I don't know, we'll stay with Phil or DSP for now.
If I pledge today, I get my new forum title by next month around this time. What if I don't pledge the next month? That means I gave him money and I only got my perk for 2 weeks, because I'm probably gonna lose my forum title quicker than I could get it. So I would probably lose my forum title in the beginning of the month, even though it takes me until the second half of the month to get it. It's weird. He needs to manage it a little bit better. People shouldn't pay him this money, and it takes 2 weeks after he gets the money for him to get for him to update shit. It's kind of lazy, just a little bit. Anyway, dollar people, get your name in text featured, and thanks to the following patrons section.
Wait, another thing that I'm thinking about here. You said, see right here how it says pledge $1 or more per month, or $5 or more, or $10 or more. So you could be pledging anywhere between $1 to $4. Well, like, because you're always under the assumption when you see something like this, right, that if someone pledges $1, they're only pledging $1. But what if they're actually pledging $3 or $4? You know what I'm saying? Or what if they're pledging 3? What if they don't have 5? So take that into account as well. Because when you look at, he only has 170 people who pledged to Patreon that month, but yet he still made over the 1250 mark. That right there is something that should be considered for each one of these tiers. I mean, it's probably nothing, but I thought it'd be something to point out.
A video, so the weekend preview, pretty much. This month was unfortunately messed up. He needs to update this, because this is from May, and it's not May anymore. Whatever. But yeah, if I pledge $1, my name in text would scroll during the end of his weekend preview, which is very exciting. Obviously, not really.
Not really at all. Especially since he said, sorry, that I would need an editing software to actually do all that. When in actuality, he can do that in OBS. He can have that exact same scrolling effect in OBS. And well, maybe not the tilting part, but close enough. You know what I'm saying? He could still have something similar to it if he did it that way. He doesn't need Premiere for that. He can do that in any editing software, to be honest with you, even the free ones. But Phil's an idiot, you see, and he only paid for Premiere all those months because everybody else was using it. You know what I mean? Because before Premiere came into prominence, at least on YouTube, what was people using? They were using... damn it, I watch a lot of older YouTubers too, and a lot of their old videos. I think they were using Vegas. They were using Sony Vegas at that time. Hence the reason why Sony Vegas is, well, one of the reasons why Sony Vegas is as big as it is. They were using that before Premiere. And I think Phil, with one of the PCs that was sent to him, he had Sony Vegas on it. I think that was the one that Chris and Teo built. He has they installed Sony Vegas on that installed for him. So keep that in mind too.
But yeah, that's DSP's Patreon account. $1,250, 160 patrons as of June 19, 2015. I'm sure by the end of the month, he'll probably weasel his way into getting at least $100 worth of people to come in. But then he's gonna say, well, credit card processing fees and the Patreon fees made it to when I only have $1 to go towards the camera. You know he's gonna pull some bullshit. You know he is. He could get $1,700 and he's still gonna say, well, off the processing fees and Patreon fees, I only have $100 to go towards the camera. That's just what I expect of him. He might not do that, but I expect it of him. Will he ever get the camera? Probably not. Will he ever change his perks? He should, but probably won't. Will he ever get more interesting milestone goals? Probably not. But that's dark side feel for you. That's dark side feel for you. Anyway, it's been Tevin C, and I'll see you in the next video.
So there we go on that. So what do we take from this, ladies and gentlemen? You're seeing more of the mismanagement of Phil's Patreon, and then you're seeing some of the shenanigans, some of the little gimmicks that he was pulling to bleed money out of these people who actually were donating to his Patreon in the belief and with the understanding that this money was going to go to a good cause. When in actuality, he's doing stuff, as Tevin had said, that he was always going to do anyway, and bleeding them for as much as he can for shit that he was promising 2 months down the line that he may or may not come through on. It's a silly bit of bullshit. Now here's the thing. Like I said, after we go through these, we're gonna go back, kind of, sorta, in between, or maybe I'll try to fit some of these in between some of these. We'll see how we do it. But I want to try to get you guys some of the, at least some of the snippets of Patreon begging on YouTube around this time period, around this first year anyway, and then the years moving forward, because that's where the interesting shit is. That's where the desperation is at. That's where him trying as hard as he can to shill his Patreon and how it's so important and how you can have so much access to him and to his community and all that bullshit, which is ironic now because Phil is in a situation where I haven't been keeping up with a lot of the new stuff. That's why there hasn't been any snort reports in a little while, but don't get me wrong, it's gonna give me like another week or so and I should be back on it. Let's see what's going on right now. Modern Warfare is basically screwing him over in a big way, which is hilarious. And one of the workarounds that Wings and other people are using is just partying up with, and Wings is partying up with either subscribers or viewers. Smart move on his part, to be honest. And Phil thought that was pathetic. He actually thought that was pathetic that Wings was playing with viewers. The people who give him money, the people who still believe in him, and the people who enjoy his streams and his content. Even if some of them are trolls, it doesn't really matter. He has a better connection with these people than Phil has with his own. And Phil literally laughed at that shit, and he was like, oh, he's playing with his fucking viewers? Oh, that's pathetic. He actually said that. Phil actually said this. But then he has the nerve to turn around and say, oh, well, I hear Wings doesn't treat his fan base well. You know what I'm saying? I hear he's a real dick to them. I'm not like that. But didn't you just say it was pathetic to play with viewers? And now he's kind of trying to snuggle up, if you will, to the idea of maybe playing with viewers. And he's throwing out strange signals like he might be willing to play with Wings, maybe. He's saying no. Right now he's kind of saying no, but then he's kind of open to do so. And to be honest, Phil is hoping to get more money out of it, and he believes his trolls will attack Wings, and that's not going to happen. And what really is something that DSP needs to worry about is having Wings trolls attacking him, because he don't want that smoke. He does not want that type of smoke. He really don't. Yet again, I got some Wing reports in the mix. I hear a new Mustang has been purchased, so we're gonna check into that one. Looks like Wings already got rid of Wendy, so that's a thing. A lot to look forward to, especially with the holidays coming up. Like I said, we have the 12 days of Goutmas. That'll be in December on the main channel. I'm gonna I don't know what I'm gonna actually call it over here yet, since it's Snortopia over here. But I'll call it something. Snortmas. We'll see we'll see what we go with it. But it'll be funny. I'm gonna try to do 12 days of that is here as well. So my workload in December is gonna be kind of crazy, but I think it's gonna be worthwhile. Plus, I'm trying to take a trip in December as well. A lot going on. But November is the month in question. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Thank you guys very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you guys for the next video whenever that may come about. Hopefully sooner than later. And we'll continue our journey. Our journey with these pocket checks. You know what I'm saying? Because I promise you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I don't promise you because I can't foresee the future like that. But I think sooner than later, Phil's going to have to come back to Patreon. He's going to have to. Especially as dependable as Patreon is now, and he barely ever plugs it, if ever. And he's still pulling $400 or $500. But then again, someone on Twitter actually tweeted out that Phil's Patreon is starting to hit Spoonie 1 levels, which is sad because Spoonie 1, this will be my closing statement, if you will. Spoonie 1 at one time was pulling $5,000+ a month on Patreon. It was to make the Spoonie 1 movie, which people really wanted to see. And he milked that for a hot ass minute until people started to come to the realization that the movie wasn't going to happen. If to be honest with you, as it pertains to Spoonie, I know I've been kind of I've been dabbling in the idea of doing a Spoonie video, because I really want to do one actually. Is Patreon kind of is what hurt Spoonie 1. That, well, not Patreon directly. The $5,000 goal for the Spoonie 1 movie is what hurt him, because I think for the first time in a while, at that time I should say, he had an obligation that he had to meet, and the stress got to him. The expectations got to him, and he just couldn't handle it, and he completely crumbled. But that's my own personal opinion when it comes to that. So, a lot going on. Like I said, I'm enjoying my time over here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying what's being put out. Hopefully. And I'll see you guys for the next video, whenever that may be. Hopefully sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News 2nd edition. This was the pocket check. And I'll holler at you guys for the next video. Take care of yourselves. Later.